I think we'll jump back into this. I do want to kind of like set the conversation up right, where I want to maybe come from more of a your experience on some of these other protocols that you've kind of went through, especially Solana. So I know you got involved in Solana, and the thing that I want to explore more is, where is Solana now versus it was before? And what do you think have either changed or, changed your opinion about it, or have, like you have like various different theses on it, and where could they go kind of like after? Because like you were deeply involved in that ecosystem, and I think it'd be beneficial for the audience to kind of know, okay, like how they can kind of think about evaluating some of these protocols and maybe get some of your insight on how you're evaluating it.
Sure thing. So maybe I can start off with how I started really getting impressed with Solana. So back in I think late 2019, a lot of my friends they were kind of seed investors with Solana, and then I was like, okay, so this is just like another alt L1 because like today, like just like how we have all these ZK narratives coming up every few weeks, that was the case back then as well for alt L1s. And then I'm like, nah, this is not really that interesting to actually, you know, spend like 10, 15 hours a day on that application and doing some stuff. So I kind of faded it for a bit. And then in 2020, started meeting like quite a few people in the ecosystem and realized like the foundation actually wants to push the Nasdaq on chain sort of like narrative forward, right? Which was pretty cool because back then a club was only efficiently possible on Solana only back then. And then that just really pushed me forward. And then the community wise, like I think early in the days, there were a lot of TradFi folks coming in, which for me
Mm.
was pretty interesting because like these were like not just like junior folks coming in, but they were like quite a few people senior to me, like maybe 10, 15 years senior to me. And then these guys were coming in the space and doing some pretty cool stuff like X Citadel, DE Shaw, and all that stuff, right? And I thought this is the right community I found because for Bitcoin, the community was pretty much like bunch of like people who really care about decentralization, and that's a very beautiful concept. However, for it to actually work, that's another story. And then for Ethereum, the entire ecosystem was like so hard or unfriendly to new entrants back then that it just kind of like pushed me away, and the speed and the gas cost didn't really make the deal really attractive to me. And then yeah, I just saw like the whole Nasdaq on chain narrative to be pretty cool, and that was the grassroots of Solana back then, right? It was just DeFi, and then I think afterwards, why I left in September 2021 was again, this is not like a wrong or correct thing. It's just like I guess
No, of course
where
it's your
wherever the
assessment,
adoption
right?
is, yeah, wherever the adoption is, right? Like
Yeah.
I think back by then there was just a lot of NFT and GameFi people coming in, and I think the narrative towards Nasdaq on chain and working towards that was slowly fading away, and I think it has faded away to be honest. Um, but then yeah, I mean that was like one of the key reasons why I kind of left it. However,
Mm.
I'm still like pretty bullish on Solana because they have done some pretty great partnerships in the whole NFT and GameFi space so far. Like I think the recent one was with BTS and a couple of other Korean celebrities, which was pretty, I think, pretty cool. Like, I think every chain has its niche, and I think Solana found that niche.
Sorry, yeah, so what about now? Like now till I guess like going into the future, like what are you kind of looking forward to in terms of like maybe on-chain data, maybe some of the things that they've been up to, such as like hardware that they've been building. I
Yeah.
think they've also yeah, sorry,
They've
go
done a
ahead.
great
Yeah,
job on
so
the whole priority fees as well, right? Because what used to happen back then was like anyone could actually jam up the network whenever there was a hot NFT mint or anything, and that was because there was no like real fee markets. And then I think they recently set up this whole priority fees market, which
Bastards, can you hear me?
Shit. Sorry.
yeah.
This guy just came on and I thought he was gonna add something useful. Sorry guys, that was a troll. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, they currently have the whole priority fees market coming in, which has been pretty helpful in actually unclogging the potential transactions, right? Like all the stuff that happened with the NFT mints of the gods and everything. Um, so I think with regards to the hardware as well, I think they're actually making the whole process in terms of like the storage side pretty decentralized in a way. Like I'm not gonna call it decentralized, but rather less reliant on people like AWS or Google Cloud.
Okay. So you're like based on, some of the storage and, some of the priority fees that they've been working on, do you think, like Solana's definitely taken a feedback into their community and they're like like they have a vision as a protocol.
Yeah, I think they've been doing like they found a niche, right? Which is pretty much NFT and GameFi. And I think they may do very well in it.
Got it. Let's go into more of the. I think it'll be interesting to go into more of the L1, L2, especially on-chain stats,